Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. I am back with another video. My apologies for the delay. Yeah, it's like now I'll be apologizing in every video. Yeah, anyway, we are doing this and we are going to be consistent no matter what, right? Okay, so in this video I'm just going to reflect on the previous three videos that I did. I'll pause just to maybe state a few things in terms of the lessons that I've learned. So in this story, in this experience that I'm sharing, it's about me sharing it with the world, my mistakes, my learnings, my experience, my thoughts, and maybe things that I would have done right, and also my understanding of certain things or thoughts on the other party. And yeah, even just within myself, with the thoughts that I was having during those moments. Yeah, we'll break it down as we go on. All right, so I have another device here. So I just tried to state a few questions that will help me maybe explain a few things with regarding everything that I've mentioned, right? So I'm encouraged to do this because I've seen a lot of views and no comments yet, no engagements. And I understand it's not every video that you must comment on, because I also do that. I watch videos, I learn from people, but I never comment. And yeah, but make sure please to subscribe. I know don't talk about this often in my videos. Please subscribe, share with whoever you can, who needs to hear my story or who needs to learn from it. You know, the moral of this story is not about to shame the man of God or his ministry or what God is doing in his life, etc. Remember, the path is narrow. I'm in my own journey, he's in his own journey, and will be judged accordingly. However, I'm just here to share my story. Yeah, so learning about relationships. So number one thing, from the time I met, this is how God prepared me also. That prior to him asking me out or telling me that he loves me, that December in 2020, I met a man of God, Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo. These videos, they talk about relationship, dating, marriage, and etc. around that, and around what I've mentioned. They talk about friendship, relationships, yeah, marriage, everything, around everything that I've mentioned. So there's a whole lot of videos that they do. I've learned so much from them and I'm still learning. And I started listening to them, especially when a man is pursuing you. So there's a few things that the man of God had stated in the video that I watched first, okay? So which was around, the topic was around when a man is pursuing you, things that you need to look out for. And yeah, it should be character, it would be their vision, it'd be their purpose, it'd be their goals in life. And also, as a lady, if you're interested in that man, how you should behave, how you should respond, like in those lines. So I started listening to them, to Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo and Pastor Mildred. Actually, Pastor Mildred then wasn't really, known. In early 2020, 20 to 2021, yeah. She wasn't really known, but yeah, now she's known. We thank God. God has blessed her. And yeah, I learned a lot about them. So I learned a lot about the relationship aspects, the marriage aspect, the love itself, what it is, what is marriage, if children are involved in a marriage before you go into a marriage, and a lot of things, sex. It was a lot that they teach a lot. It's wide, like it's wide. They teach a lot of things. Yeah, so I also started reading books. I love reading. Actually, in this place where I say I don't have a TV. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I don't have a TV. I have a shelf of books I read. And thank God to YouTube. We thank God for YouTube. There's also information that you can learn so much. I have learned so much YouTube, all right, from YouTube. Listening to sermons from these pastors that I've mentioned, Pastor Mildred, Mama Funke, Felix Adejumo, and mostly, I don't know, for me, I'm drawn to Nigerian teachings. I don't know why, but Nigerians have got a characteristic of being tough. They're very tough in terms of they go after their things, they fight for their things, they make sure they get it. They are strong, they are tough. You know, a situation can seem kind of hard, but they are also tough, like they're kind of. So I'm drawn to that. I know, I hope the people that know me, when they watch this video, they know that I'm soft, right? But I can also be rough. I've learned that about myself, which, not that I'm proud of it, but I know I can be rough, and it's something that I'm working on. Yeah, so I've been reading books, listening to sermons, and that was like a foundation that I did on my own. So I remember now when this man of God approached me. So I had listened to a few videos from Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo. So what I did was I asked him, oh, can we get, because we used to have long talks on Google Meetings. So I said, no, let's listen to a certain sermon. So we listened to it. So upon listening to it, there's a few things that the man of God had stated in that video. And then he makes a comment to say, oh, so this is the man that is you are listening to that is delaying me to get you, you know. So the comments, sorry, the things that Pastor Kingsley had said in that video were certain things that he himself wasn't doing. It was he wasn't working. You not necessarily say that the man must be working, but there must be something tangible. You know, it is a risk, to be honest, to go into marriage, because marriage needs, this is what I learned also a few last week from Mama Funke, Felix Adejumo. She says anointing without money leads to annoyance. Imagine the way I'm looking right now. I still need basic things for myself. And it's not that the husband must provide. I also have to go and look for things, and he also needs to bring certain things. Then we put everything together, right? I can't let me even go as basic as sanitary towels. I cannot even talk about makeup, just a sanitary towel. Just to keep yourself, the hygiene, you need perfume, you need roll, you need a spray, you need all those things. Like for me, I don't even grow my hair, I cut it. It's like I pay something like 150 rand for my hair every month. You know, I've minimized my expenses. So in the way I spend my money, I'm watching my finances. I'm still learning, though I haven't gotten there how to manage my finances. So it's all those things, basic need, because appearance is important. Not even when you're married, not even when you are even just a baby, a human being. Appearance is important. There's a way you need to look when you appear somewhere. You just to present, you know, we are representing Christ, the kingdom itself. We need to look in a certain way, be decent, be dignified, you know. So we just need, but all those things, they need money for you to what? To move in that kind of space, being dignified, being decent, right? So now, joining yourself to someone who is not in that space yet, and remember, as for me, I had seen where this person was sleeping. So already there is something in my mind that I'm pushing towards to get to this person's level of understanding and perspective of understanding his perspective of his vision and how he's going to get money. Even if, because the ministry is for God, how about what are you going to be eating? Just you yourself, first of all. What are you going to be eating? You understand? So yeah. So from there, I got some knowledge, and I asked those questions. Moving on to the next question, which I started to say, every living man on earth should never be viewed as Yeshua. Yeshua means Jesus Christ, right? So my mistake here with this man of God, remember, he led me to Christ, and he was so connected to me, and I believe he had loved me as a daughter, not the girl. I don't know when the loving me as a wife to be started in his life, but I could feel his concern, his love, his, someone who is concerned about your life, praying, who wants to pray for you to make it right, to make sure you get it, like you get it. Because also I was showing interest in the things of the Lord. And my love for the Lord was developing, So he needed, sorry, not that he needed, he was now becoming like a God to me, like Yeshua. It was like Jesus Christ. When I look at him, to me, it was like anything that happens, I'll run to him. Anything that happens, I'll run. Now, that was also immature to do for me. It was immature because only Yeshua is the only person, personality, the only being we need to, or the spirit being we need to run to for everything that we need. Hence, this thing of seeing this man of God as Jesus led me to vulnerability in a very, very, very immature way. When you're connected to someone, especially, I know many people, not only even female, many people can attest to what I'm about to say. You tend to share a lot. Sometimes you can even go naked. Not naked as in undressing yourself, in like undressing, removing clothes on, but through your past, sharing your past experiences of life, and you can pour out all those things to the man of God, or maybe it might be a woman of God, but in my situation it was the man of God. You just become naked to this person. You tell them about this, I did 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 this, and we are sharing all those things because we are seeking for help. You understand? So now, that, for me, with my situation, my experience, when that person, the pastor, understood my past, he had also a way to manipulate it. Because now, you see, at some point, I remember I asked him to say, can you pray for my marriage? Now, remember, this person his marriage is failing. Okay, it has failed twice. Yeah, and the people, obviously, I wasn't the only one who was coming in his inbox to come and ask for such kind of to come with such a prayer point. So he now obviously knew that I had desired marriage, and for me, I feel like he had a list of people who were potentials to him, that he can choose to say, this person I can, this one I can't, this one, because we were a lot of people. We were flooding in his inbox. not only with the same prayer point that I had, but with other queries, not queries, yeah, whatever. I don't know what is the lack of a better term, because queries obviously is in a business aspect, but this is something else. I don't know, lack of a better term, but you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, we came with our own issues, and he knew. Maybe I'm not actually not the only one that he had asked out, but I know of someone else he had asked out, and this person, we had a conversation a year later because she wanted to understand what had happened. And then I shared the truth with her, and then she said, oh, you also, it happened to you. And then, even though this one I was going to share it in more in detail when after this video, maybe it also happened to you, because this man of God also did this, that. You understand? Okay, so it was like, okay, now it makes sense. So this is the character of a person, of this man of God. And then you see, in that situation now, there is a lot of different information I started receiving from different parties about this individual, the pastor. And it started adding up. It was like a puzzle that was missing. It started adding up. And yeah, so I learned that sharing information to a certain man of God, because certain men of God, they haven't reached a certain maturity to understand certain things. I'm learning so much in the current church where I am at. When you are married, especially as a man of God, I know there are big men of God, like sorry to use the word big, but that are known, like Pastor Chris, who had gone through a divorce once. I'm not sure, I don't think he's married now because I don't follow him. Yeah, but for this man of God, it was twice, you know, and it can be even more than that for other men of God. However, for me, what I think was the right thing to do was he was supposed to sit down and ask himself why is he going through all those things, and go back to his loins, go back in the chambers of Zion, go back and ask God, what is it I'm doing wrong? Because the way, when he came to me, when he presented himself to me, it was like the woman was wrong, the first woman again was wrong. You understand? And I don't know, with the third wife that he has or he had, I'm not sure what's happening currently. Oh yeah, that I believe they must be together, I don't know, but let me use the word, the third wife he has, right? He must have shared something about me to her to make her understand, and I believe it's negative. So the woman has her own version of story, the man has her own version of story. The person, myself, sorry, I got distracted, myself, I've got also a version of my own story, right? But there's one thing that I observed with this man of God. When I was asking a question about his past marriages, it was all negative, you understand? And especially the one who was like the previous, he would use certain names about this woman. Remember, this is the woman that this man had a child with. They stayed together. They did what they did in marriage. But there is, for me, there is a level of respect you must give to a woman you've had a child with, such that it doesn't mean that you still consider as a wife, even if your mind is done, or you're done with that person, you've agreed, you are no longer together. But there is a level of respect. You just, even when you're sharing about them to someone, you say, this person is the mother of my child, rather, is this and that. Not describing, is staying with my child, but we're no longer together. You end there. There's a way you're going to share about her, such that it doesn't raise more questions, but also you're not demean the person. You are just putting it right that we're no longer together, but there's nothing wrong with her. It's just that the marriage did not work. You make the people understand that. Yes, your wife, the new wife to be, you can go a little bit in detail, but also don't make her have a perspective of she was the bad one. She's the one who treated my husband like this. Because remember, the child is going to come in the marriage. And now the woman that is in the marriage with you, the way is going to look at the child came from a prostitute. The child came from a witchcraft mother. The child came from a da. You understand? So there are things, this is maturity. There are things now you as a person you need to weigh out to say, this, and that. Yeah, guys. So, like I was saying, let me move on to the next question. Sorry, not next question, rather next point. Be careful who introduces you to God. Okay, so in this point, or on this point rather, I've noticed something very significant with that, because most of the time, let me just change this. Okay. So, apologies about that. So, I've noticed something with this in regards to, you see, like I'm coming right now here on this platform called YouTube, and I'll be maybe evangelizing, right? And personally myself, there are things that I'm struggling with. And I haven't even matured spiritually. When it comes to the things of God, there's no limit. You can go and go and go and go, ascend, go into the realms of God. God is unlimited, right? So when you are coming to share salvation with someone, or introducing that person to God, most of the time, that person, when they receive Christ, they want to attach themselves to you. And they don't have the wisdom at that point to connect themselves to Yahweh. They understand or think that they can connect to Yahweh or Yeshua through you, who introduced them to God. They have an understanding of everything that you've shared with them. They believe in it. They have faith in it. So they think that when I'm with this person, I'm with the right person, I'll connect to God. There's just that understanding within their head that builds up, But it needs to be corrected. The person who is sharing salvation to that individual needs to correct that. You need to put a limit. You need to draw yourself away from them, and you are leading them to Yeshua, and you withdraw. You come out of that relationship. It must just be the two of them. That person needs to find a way to Yeshua. They can call Yeshua when they want, because you have done your part. You are still dealing with so many things. You also need Yeshua on another dimension, on another level, whichever way God is leading you, right? So now, at this point, I made a mistake myself to cling on this man of God as my God. I did not say it that he's my God when everything was happening, but I behaved like that. You understand? So behaving like that costed me a lot, because I had no wisdom, I had no understanding. In the name of looking for God, looking for Yeshua, looking for the path to Yeshua, this was it. This was my way of dealing with it, and then it led me into what I was into, right? So, however, now, when you have shared the salvation with this person, support them from a distance. encourage, check on them, but cut off that thing of they want to be attached to you. The attachment, this is what in my church Pastor John does not like connections, even for himself, right? He will lead you to Yeshua. That's the reason why in our church we go as a corporate, like a group of people. We go there, we listen to the word, it's taught. Out of the church you are all alone with God. He will support you from the pulpit. Even when you go to his office, actually I need to do a video of my experience in Pastor John's office. Yeah, very interesting one. Like he always says on the pulpit, don't come to my office because I don't like people around me. He says he gets his life, and it's very important. I've learned it from him. Like for me, you see, the other day I was going to church, took an Uber last week. I took an Uber from my place going to church. The driver was playing cursing music. They were just using the F word in that music. So I asked him, why are you playing that music? Is it on a radio or it's a USB? He said, no, it's a USB. Then he asked me, do you like it? I said, no, please change it. He did not change it. And I did not want to argue with him, but when I dropped off, I gave my rating according to my experience. Right? Because I'm a customer, I'm paying him, and I need to be comfortable. So now, already that music, thank God I went to church, or you have to go through, I cannot say use the word paging, but you have to get your ears, you have to get your mouth, you have to get your eyes, because spirits are everywhere. And a demon can enter you at your permission and without your permission. Let me say, with your conscious or without your conscious, you understand? And it's through such things, especially secular music. I don't listen to secular music. It's just like that. I don't even have to explain myself. But yeah, so going back now to not attaching yourself, who introduces you to God, or who leads you to Christ's salvation. So wisdom needs to be applied. Yes, you support, but be careful as well. Move with the Holy Spirit. Let that person know God for himself, because the encounter they will have, it is for them to be convicted that God is real. You don't have to create the encounter for them. You also had your own encounter. So my mistake there was to attach myself to this man of God as my God, my Jesus, my everything, my what. And yes, the man of God had his own things that he was struggling with. That was a definite. And with him, he was supporting me, but also he was kind of being, sympathetic towards me, which he was scared of being, I felt it. That's why I'm saying that. He was scared of being tough on me. My current pastor is tough. Very, very tough. And for me, I need it. I need that. I need it. Like, I just need it. So now, fast forward. It led me to where I am today, But it also gave me an understanding that was my mistake. That's the reason why I found myself into a certain place of now I had to look for Yeshua myself at my own space, because I didn't know where to go. I just needed Yeshua himself. I needed Yeshua himself. I just needed him. So, and then it made me realize, oh, okay, so this is the reason why I'm feeling like this is because I perceived this man as God. But why did I perceive him as God? And then I now understood. You have to go back sometimes. You go back, you reflect. Then I understand, oh, it's because he introduced me to God. So him leading me to Christ, it was like, okay, so this is the right channel for me to go to Christ. Yet Yeshua is like, no. So he was just watching. Yeshua was just watching. And he knew that my child, my son, I'm a son of Yahweh. Not a daughter, not a child. we will go astray eventually, because yeah, hence whatever I went through was needed. Fourth point, before you become vulnerable to a man of God, a woman of God, allow the spirit of discernment to minister to you. Very important, because the things that I shared with that man of God, I'm sure he shared it with his wife. With his wife, because remember, when this is something that I observed, men who are not I'm trying to find the right term. Men who are not, I can't even say who are not serious, because that is not the best term for it. But I don't know what to say. Let me just proceed. So certain men, they don't have the right or tangible things to say to a woman to win them. In simple terms, let me just put that, to win them. I've met a man. That man has never talked about his past relationships in a negative way. Never. And he doesn't major, or he has never majored the conversation on he will share a summary of the relationship with the relationship with in the past, but it's never negative. Even sometimes later years, I would meet this woman that this man was with. I don't have anything, there's the kind of, I can't say jealousy, but there's a certain feeling, I don't know what it's called, when you meet someone who you know about them, like, oh, they treated this person like this, like that, then you start having certain kind of funny feelings or hurt towards them, and that thing, like, it wasn't there because I know nothing negative about them. You understand? Now imagine if you have a child with this person. What happens? How is the woman going to treat the child? So this is wisdom. Don't be vulnerable. Do not be vulnerable to a man of God. Only after discernment. Because then, when you have discernment, you'll be able to get the level of maturity of that person. There are things that they won't. I remember this pastor that I'm talking about. He started talking about me. Soon, I think it was soon after I left the church, started creating sermons about me. Sometimes he would create sermons about his ex-wife. So you can tell that these things that he's talking about, he had, that was the way to win the wife over him. But I can guarantee you right now, the wife, in as much as she is in this marriage, there's so many things that she is dealing with personally that don't make sense. Number one, I mentioned it, the guy is just lazy. The guy does not work. The guy, this pastor, the guy is not working. The guy is not bringing anything. And he was very smart, or he's very smart. He will tell you that you're the one to deal with the finances. I remember there was a time he told me that the church money, I should be handling it. I know I work in a finance space, but me with church money, I don't even want it. Like, I don't want church money at all. That is money for God, not for me. So he's very smart, so that you must be, you feel there's a level of control that you're being given, and you think you are in control, but this human being is not working. Sister, wake up. It was kind of, because church money belongs to the church. It's for church maintenance, church things, not to feed the man of God. No. That one is now, maybe we can talk about the seed, the prophet offering, pastor seed, whatever. Church is for maintain the church. Whatever is needed for the church, it be the music, the mics, the whatever, use the church money, not to go to the man of God. You understand? All those things. So it was like a manipulation. A manipulation, of, you must be dealing with the money. There, I know if the man of God will be watching this, please change your ways in this. For me, my advice I would give to the man of God, that, and if ever you happen to watch this, go back to the Lord. Go back to the Lord and go back to the Lord and ask yourself, ask questions. Like, there are some dealings that you need. It's not only about me, but your past, your loins. Go back, the bloodline. The bloodline is holding so many things about your life. I'm dealing with that. But when I think about this person, in this moment, there's so many things attached to the bloodline. That's the reason why their life is always the way it is. I'm not here to embarrass them. I'm not here, but they need to go back. Go back, man of God. And go and check if you are truly called. It's not a shame. It's about going to verify. The things with God, you still need to go and verify with the Holy Spirit, because you have missed it. Somewhere, somehow, you have truly missed it. My advice to you, go back. Even take the whole year to just seek the face of the Lord until you get an approval of certain things, because you've lost it. You really have lost it. I came across the children of this man of God sometime. I won't mention which year. I was saddened with what I saw. Very saddened. And it breaks my heart. I remember in one of the teachings at our church, the man of God was teaching to say, if you are a parent and you give birth to a human being on earth, you are responsible for them. Fully responsible for them. So do the right thing. No one, you are responsible for them. No one will do it for you. You are responsible for them. You are the one who planted that seed into that woman's womb. You release the seed. So go and water that seed. Take care of it. Take care of it. That is just the rightful way to say it. Anyway. And pray. The other point is that you must always pray. Even when you can't pray. Remember, there was a time when this whole thing was happening, when this man of God was chasing after me, I could not pray. That was a time I needed God to go and seek for verification, to go and seek for verification. That was my mistake. Seek, even if I did not want it, but I needed it. I needed to go and seek the face of the Lord. Seek, and I believe God was going to reveal a lot, because the time I eventually accepted the man of God, and then boom, I started having dreams. I started having, it was just, I wasn't feeling him in my presence. I just hated him. I don't know. But to him, it was like it was a spirit. It was a spiritual husband. It was a spiritual but God saved me. And then also, I accepted the mistake I made. This is the last point I made, was to accept this man of God from a place of empathy. Because I was feeling like, he needs, because he used to convince me, I need help, I can't do this alone, I need help, I need a woman, I need the mother of the church, because also it's like the women in the church were throwing themselves at him. This is why I love my spiritual father, the man of God, Pastor John. Pastor John would tell you from the pulpit, even if, let me say it, even if Pastor John was single, that man, and God told him he must be single, he will put strategic rules and patterns. Remember when Mama, his wife, was in the US, Pastor John used to live with his sister. The sister would cook for him. The sister would do everything for him. Elder sister. So this is the level of wisdom. Now you can tell. To protect himself,